For this first image, I've spotted this almost pristine flower. I think it's a camellia, is it? Maybe. It's a lovely white flower anyway, with a yellow centre. And I really love that. I'm going to get in quite close, sort of that close to the flower. As far as camera settings go, on the Exacta RTL1000, 1/125th of a second at f5.6. For this next image, I've found this bud, sign of new life. Quite like it. I think it'll make a nice black and white photo. So it's meant that I've had to mount the camera, just zoom out. Had to mount the camera on a tripod because I'm using the bellows, which allows me to get really close. I can just about get the bud in the frame. Taking a handheld meter reading, 125th at 4.5, so I've set the camera up accordingly, and we've taken the image. This next image, I've spotted this door in the wall here, and I do like the way the path leads up to the door. So I'm looking at a composition something like maybe that, and the door's slightly, well, it's pretty much in the centre really of the image. As far as camera settings go, we're looking at 125th of a second at f8, and that should render the image just as I want it, hopefully. Seeing these, I presume they're fruit trees growing along the wall here, and I've just spotted this smaller one. The others are slightly big for my 50mm lens, but I think this one just about fits in. I've arrived at my, what I could call, digital contact sheet, and just review the images before I go ahead and print one of them. So we have the door here. I did actually take a second image in portrait mode, but felt that didn't really work, and I'm not sure. At the time I thought this would work from the standpoint of having all these leading lines. You've got the path, you've got the the branches of the tree, apple tree or fruit tree on the wall here pointing to the door. We've got this other tree pointing to the door. So all kind of leading lines, definitely, but I'm not sure that it really works. I think this is actually a distraction. So I don't know whether if I remove that, it does tend to make the image, I think, a little bit unbalanced then. Although, does it work? I'm not sure. I've taken the door out of the centre and I've still got my leading lines. Maybe that could work, perhaps. I'd like to get it a bit darker as well, I think. Let's just do a quick curves adjustment. Just a tad, just to make it pop a bit. There we go, that sort of idea. Quite like that. That definitely improves the image. I think there's a lesson here that maybe taking more than one image, different viewpoints, definitely the way you would do it digitally, but being film, I'm inclined to try and limit that. So there's image number one potentially. Image number two, was it camellia or camellia? The flower. That's come out really well. So the 50mm lens has really, it's got quite a bit of sharpness there. It's just a shame, unfortunately, with the wind, it's blowing some of the don't know what we call these, stamens around. and so the flower isn't quite as perfect as I would like it to be. I would, in digital you could get rid of these, and indeed in Darkroom you could. I don't have the technique at the moment to go ahead and do that, so I think for that reason, while it's a nice image, I'm not sure that I will go ahead and print that one. A third image of the bud. This took a long time actually to produce. The wind got up as I was doing the video, and so I had to be a bit more patient, but eventually patience came through, and again it's really highlighted having the bellows, and that lens again is really quite sharp. Really quite impressed with that. Is it worth printing? Could be, but I think in all honesty I think it's this image here that really stands out to me. I do like one. It's straight out of camera. I've not done anything. That's always nice. But I like the if you like, the staining on the wall here almost takes on the form of the foliage of the. And obviously there is a shadow here, but there's clear that there's sort of staining there, or lack of staining maybe. That perhaps the brick has bleached where this normally would be covered over. But I do like the dark area, so it actually accentuates, I believe, the fruit tree there. So I think this has got to be a strong contender for the print, I believe. So well, let's go into the darkroom then. Test strip time. Here's the image of the fruit tree against the wall, and we go from 0 to 1 minute 40 seconds. So looking through the increments are in 20-second sections. So 20 seconds, 40 seconds, 60, 80, 100. And it's very clear that 100 is way too dark. And 20 seconds is a little bit too bright. So we're looking at 40 seconds. Let's just zoom into this little section here. So I've just brightened up the area. So this is a little bit brighter than I'm actually looking at it, but just gives us an idea. So here's the 20-second exposure with the wall, which is a little bit too bright for my, although it does actually reflect the negative image. But looking at the 40 seconds around here, this is where we're getting, and we've still got some light in the branches, but maybe just a tad too dark. So my line of thinking is maybe between 20 seconds and 40. So 30 seconds would seem to be a good starting point, I think. So we're looking at 30 seconds at f11 with a filter factor of 2. The final print. I'm going to have to find another word for I'm pleased. I'm delighted with the results, or result, from my exposure of 30 seconds, and it really has captured what I had in my mind's eye. Maybe a little bit lighter from the one we saw on the computer. Again, I think I've mentioned in the past, obviously there may be a difference between projected light and reflected light, but certainly from where I'm standing I'm very pleased. Worthy of putting it on the wall maybe? Is that too over the top? And again, I'm pleased that finally the framing is starting to come to fruition, as it were. Finally getting to grips with it. I thought what I would try and do on this occasion, since I'm very pleased with this image, I would try increasing the factor of the contrast from 2, which is what you see in front of you, to 5. So this one on the right is the contrast filter set to 5, and I can certainly see a very subtle difference. And I think probably my initial response would be that this right hand one, which is the grade 5, appears to be sharper. So whether that's because of the contrast, whether that's mid-tone contrast, I'm not sure. Maybe someone could enlighten me there, because obviously I'm learning this as I go along, as it were. But certainly this image seems sharper, and there seems to be a little bit more detail. Certainly in this area here, there's a little mottled brick just there, and one there. I don't know whether I can, let me see if I can zoom in a bit. No, I can't seem to get what I want really zoom in, but I've put the grade 5 over the grade 2 just to see if there is a contrast, and yeah, definitely I can see with my eye here, maybe not so clear on the camera, but it is very subtle, no doubt about it. So I'm intrigued. Let me just zoom back out again. I'm definitely going to pursue this different grading, maybe split grading, I think that's what they call it, and we'll pursue that over the course of these videos. But certainly very, very pleased with the image, and even better with this second one. The framing's even better. So am I peaking too soon? Who knows? But certainly very grateful to have that image come out as I wanted it to. So until the next time.